part of what excited me when I started this was that I didn't know how chocolate was made. And I was like, oh, chocolate making is kind of like baking a cake. You put it together, put it in the oven. But I had no idea how involved it was. And it's such a beautiful craft that we love sharing with people. So we started Ritual Chocolate in 2010 in Colorado. We rented a factory space there. And it was this beautiful built small-scale factory where there was equipment that had been brought over from all over Europe. So we really learned this older European style of chocolate making.
Craft chocolate compared to commercially available chocolate is vastly different.
We decided early on that we wanted to be craft bean-to-bar makers because we wanted to connect with farms and with cacao beans that we were excited about.
Every cacao bean origin has a different tasting profile depending on where it came from and other factors like what grows on and around the farm, the climate, what's in the soil. So say our Madagascar origin, it's really nutty, it's a little bit smoky, and then you'll have our Belize, which is very bright, a little acidic, very fruity.
Our Ecuador farm that we work with in Camino Verde, they have earthy, fudgy notes.
The first time I tried craft chocolate was at Ritual, the day of my interview.
About 90.5.
And it was like nothing I'd ever tasted before. It was fruity, it was citrusy, the flavors were so nuanced. And that first bite really just like opened a whole world for me.
I think really with chocolate, for so many years, it's just been considered a snack and it's become this commodity grade thing. And so we want to really bring back that, no, chocolate should be considered a fine food.
What's different about Ritual Chocolate compared to what you'll find commercially available is the high quality of ingredients and the ethical sourcing that we do of our cacao.
We really find farms that we work with that have sustainable practices for the farm workers on the farm, but also for the ecosystem there. We also wanted to have control over every step of the chocolate making process because we wanted to put out the best chocolate that we could and kind of share with people what great quality chocolate is all about. So we get these amazing beans, and we feel like we have such a responsibility to treat them with care. So when we get the beans, we sort through them, lay them out on trays, and we like to do a very light, slow roast just to start bringing about the chocolate flavors so we can keep all the subtle nuances from the beans in there.
We have very specific roasting times and temperatures for each bean to get the best flavor out of each one. We run them through our winnowing machine, which cracks the beans and separates the shells.
We take the nibs and then we put them in our melanges, which is granite rollers rotating around a granite base.
We add our sugar, our cocoa butter, any additional flavors that we're adding.
At this point, the chocolate is beginning to look like chocolate, but it's still very gritty. There's a lot of acidity, quite sharp flavors.
When chocolate is more raw, it can taste very vinegary, almost like a kombucha kind of vibe. We let that mill for a while and then we roll it through our 3-roll mill, which was built in 1955, which was actually originally used for newspaper ink.
So now it's getting smooth, but the flavor needs to come a long way. So then we put the chocolate in our longitudinal conch. We put it in there for 72 hours and it's this giant steel rollers that are rolling over a granite bed and it whips and aerates the chocolate. So there's a lot of acidity coming out and it's rounding out the flavors.
From there, it goes into our tempering machine, which the process of tempering is melting chocolate, lowering the temperature, and then raising it back up, all while agitating it. And what that does is it takes all of those chocolate, the cacao, the sugar, the fat molecules, and they stack on top of each other. They line up like little soldiers, and that's how you get that nice shiny snap. By the end of that process, you get a beautiful, delicious chocolate bar.
It takes us about a week to make a batch. And it's a very involved process. In the beginning, we were purists and we're like, dark is the only way, because it's all about tasting the cacao. So our single origin bars, they're all 75%. So that means by weight, 75% cacao to 25% sugar. So it's a lot of cacao.
I used to be a little more of a snob, honestly, about it, but over the last year, as I've been formulating milk chocolates to add to our lineup, I've really fallen in love with it.
I think what's fun for us as being small is we can still be a little scrappy and try different things. We actually have a monthly subscription box where we do an exclusive bar every month, and it's a fun way for us to test different flavors and to get feedback from people to be like, well, what do you want? What do you like?
If everybody could try one bar of ritual chocolate, in my opinion, it would be the honeycomb toffee. My favorite thing about it is how much it represents where we are. Utah-based, we're in the beehive state. Why wouldn't you want to try the beehive state honey?
I am from the UK, from Essex, England, and my family there are multi-generational farmers. When I look back now at living on the farm and seeing my dad and my grandpa talk shop over the dinner table, I think that hugely influenced why I decided to start a business of chocolate making, because really it's a lifestyle business. It's all encompassing. I'm thinking about it all the time and I live and breathe it. I still eat a lot of chocolate. It was funny because early on I had to think about, gosh, am I going to get sick of chocolate after like a year? But as it turns out, I haven't. And I say I probably eat about at least a third of a bar a day. It's a full-on addiction at this point.